Hiyo! Welcome back to another episode of Rambling in the Void, the place where I talk about my interests and throw it out to the internet. In the previous episode, I talked about Last Life and Double Life. This time, I will be going over the next 3 seasons of the Life series. And for a similar reason that I did the last episode, the reason that these seasons don't get their own episode like Third Life is because I just haven't seen them enough to do them justice. But I am planning to give them the time one day. One day, I will. And so honestly, the reason that I want to watch all the episodes of every season, all the episodes, all the POVs of every season, is because I want to get as close to the full story that I can. Because there isn't really any way you can do that with like one POV or 2 POVs or even 3 POVs, because of all the edited footage. It's 3 hours of a session. It's 3 hours of a session that's edited down to a max of 30 minutes. More often than not, it's closer to like 22, 23 minutes. So that's a lot of stuff we don't see. There's a lot of things that we don't know. And I'm nosy. I want to get too close to the story, as full of the story as I can. And that's my only key. Watching all the POVs. That's my only way of getting through this unreliable narrator thing. I feel like I'm saying that like it's a problem, but it really isn't. Like, I adore the unreliable narrator. I just also like solving puzzles, even if they don't need to be solved. So with that, I'm going to put a disclaimer now, like the last 2 episodes. There's going to be spoilers for these seasons. So on to the seasons now. Limited Life is the 4th season of the Life series. This time, the twist is that they have limited time. Haha. They have 24 hours to live, or 24 hours of life, however you want to say it. When they're above 16 hours, they are green. When they're above 8 hours, they are yellow. And when they reach below the 8-hour mark, they are red. So with time being the way that their lives are measured, how does the life system work? The lives system. Well, if they lose an hour, no. Well, they lose an hour. Yes, they lose an hour of life each time they die. But if a yellow player kills a green player, then they can get 30 minutes back. And it's a similar thing for reds, but it's yellow and green players. Though I think it also includes reds. Maybe, perhaps. Also, if you completely take out a player, I think you also get time. So, another thing that they brought back is the boogie. So, a random green or yellow player will be chosen at the beginning of the session, like it was in Last Life. Excuse me. And they have to kill someone before the end of the session. If they fail to do so, then their time is taken down to the next one. So if they were green, they become yellow, and if they were yellow, they become red. And honestly, this season was a season of strong bonds. Like, day 1 teams stuck together until the very end. That, in other seasons, the previous seasons, that didn't happen. That didn't really happen. Like, and when I mean day 1, I don't mean episode 1. I mean day 1. Like, day 1 in game, they stuck together. Which I find so funny. They even, like, bring that up in one of the POVs of, the Clockers, which was, Cleo, B-Dubs, and Scar. And they were, like, joking about, like, oh, like, day 1, like, oh, we're not gonna, like, day 1 teams never stick together, and then at the very end, they did, and that was brilliant and wonderful, and I especially loved it because Scar hadn't really had, like, teams. Like, yes, he technically had, like, with Grian, in Third Life and Double Life, Well, yes. Well, Third Life is like the exception. Third Life was he had someone, but in like Last Life and even Double Life, he didn't really have someone. He didn't really have the team really, and so this was like, it was really nice that he got a team, a really nice sticking together team. That made me happy. Um, so like yeah, the loyalty was through the roof, except for our little winner of this season. He was the one who wanted to win more than anything, and he didn't play nice, and he killed the last two players who were willing to do like a little duel. Martin, he was having none of it, and due to that fiery passion as well as the just the coincidence of his name, he was crowned with the symbol of Mars. So now we have a sun, a star, moon, and a Mars. And this season was the one I got to watch live in its like entirety. And I waited at the end of Double Life to see if we were going to get another season. And just so you know, no one actually knows, like not even the players know if we're going to get another season by the time the current one ends. It's completely up to Grian if he gets an idea and is able to make it work in Minecraft. And so far, he's been able to. So when the hits came in for Limited Life, I was going crazy with the other fans over it. And then once Limited Life was over, I had to wait to see if we were going to get another season. And we did. The 5th season is called Secret Life. And so in Secret Life, it was another season that was more complex like Last Life. The players were given 30 hearts each. For each life, they were given 30 hearts. But they were not able to like regenerate them. So in Minecraft, you're able to like regenerate your health by eating. But this one, even if you had full hunger, you were not gonna get your hearts back. So the only way to get them back would be to get a gift from another player. Or the only the only ways to get them back would be through a gift from another player. Similar to like the life exchange in Last Life, but it wasn't one of your own hearts. It was like an extra one. So the other way would be completing tasks from the Secret Keeper. That was a stone statue placed near spawn that gave the players tasks each session, and if the players succeeded, they were rewarded with 10 hearts. If their like health reached the max 30, then they would get like gifts of like really good items in the game, and if a player failed, they would get no hearts. But there was also a kind of gamble option that if a player wanted to try to get an extra 30 hearts instead of the 10, they could re-roll for a harder task. However, if they failed to complete it by the end of the session, not only would they not get any hearts, but they would lose 10 hearts. So, like I said, it was a gamble. And the reason this season was called Secret Life was that these tasks that they were given by the Secret Keeper had to be kept a secret. If the players shared what their secret tasks were, they would fail. And there was also a special thing for yellow players to guess what the green players' tasks were. They only had one guess per green. So if they were wrong, they couldn't like guess again. But if they did get it right, the green player would have to go and hit fail. And honestly, this season was so much fun to watch. We got some old players back, and we gained another one officially. Gemini Tay, she was fantastic in the season. And honestly, the best part, my favorite creator won this season. That's right. Good Times with Scar won Secret Life. The guy who had no friends in the season won alone. And so Scar's symbol, because the fandom has just, this isn't like an official thing, this is very much a fandom thing, but his symbol was like really debated on, especially like when he won, and even after, like it was very much like, well, obviously when he won, because the winners get their symbols when they win, but like after he won, like immediately after, there was like a big debate on like what should it be, like we don't know, and no one would really agree on it. And then people were just kind of picking, and we were just kind of like, it's whatever, Personally, I am a big fan of calling him Earth. And so we have a sun, a star, a moon, a Mars, and now we have a Earth. And so moving on, we have the 6th season, which is the latest and technically unofficial, you'll see why in a bit, season, Real Life. And it's the one I know the least amount, and that is simply because I got motion sick from watching one episode, and I just couldn't finish it. One day I'll crawl through like all the episodes because I want to see them. Also, yeah, because it was like an unofficial. Okay, hold on. So with this season, we're back to Third Life rules, but it's in VR, hence the Real Life. And the reason that this is, it's because it was an April Fool's special, and so we got one episode. And honestly, it was kind of funny that the for this April Fools, our winner is Cleo. That the winner, Cleo, was dubbed Pluto, because that's the planet, not planet, whose classification is debated, and just like the winner of the unofficial season, she gets a special silly planet. So now we have a sun, a star, a moon, a Mars, an Earth, and now a Pluto. Honestly, it was really great to watch Real Life and like the clips I've seen of other POVs, because I was watching Scars, of course. They were all great, and it makes me want to watch them all. I just need to like set time aside later so I can like deal with the motion sickness. There was not really like, obviously there was not like an overarching story. This was very much a one shot thing that was just silly. But yeah, I still want to watch all the POVs just because it's a great silly time, and I want to watch Cleo's obviously because she won. So with that was the speed round of the summaries of each season of the Life series. One day, like I'll rewatch all the seasons so that they're fresher in my brain, and I've seen more POVs of these. And like I'll make a video for each season individually, like I did for the Third Life one. And like I said, I think I've said in this one, the last one, I can't remember, but like I want to watch more POVs of Third Life, and I want to like see how other storylines played out and how they connected with the ones I do know, and the ones I do know very well, I want to see, because there are things I don't know. There's some players that you don't really see from the POVs I watched, and so I think it'd be cool and funny to watch and see how their stories played out in this whole like thing of the war. So that's all for now. I'll have another episode out in the next couple of weeks, probably after my finals are done, where I talk about the latest game that I played, that I've been playing or was playing before school ramped up and I got a job. But Cult of the Lambs, I'm really excited to cover that one and talk about just how brilliant it was. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.